Okay, I'm going to freeze it here. I'm going to zoom in on the bush on the right. I saw this quite often, and this is a common occurrence with like where you see the lights. They can punch holes in the trees, and so I don't know if they necessarily did then or it was a coincidence, but they oftentimes like to play with lights or dark sockets or circles or dots where they were tilted like this. Um, and maybe that tricks the brain's facial recognition thing. But here it is zoomed out. I think it's pretty clear how you could make an eye out from it, or a pair of eyes from it. I want to freeze it here and zoom in on the right area. Uh, so these are some shapes that I made out in the trees, and again, this could be caused by them being able to push around the foliage because they can push you around, they can jab you, they can push your entire body around, they can push leaves out of the way. And this twack can be in your eyes, it can be in between you and the object that you're looking at. So it's not just projections onto the trees or pushed shapes into the trees. It can also be between you and the tree or the wall, and cause it to have more of a reflective surface in certain areas. That's how they create these holograms, and to create the image that you want it to see, and thus make it harder for people from other points of view to see what you're seeing. They're playing freeze frame and jitterbug on top of each other again. So and jitterbug was playing at the beginning of a show that I started watching on Hulu, the Infinite Playlist show. And they're like, "See, we knew you would watch it eventually, and that's why we did it." So, but I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna freeze it here again and do a few more of these shapes. You can see it in the air and the sky. And again, it doesn't matter if you interpret it this way or in no way at all. This is not camera noise. I saw it with my eyes unaided. Okay, and they're playing free stream and jitterbug again. So here's an example of a shape. I'm going to draw another circle around it where they can use other objects and make them more reflective or more blurry to make it appear as, a face, when there's different objects at uh, uh, different lengths or away from you. Uh, the one at the bottom, it's like, it's not a flat surface, it's not a single tree, it's made up of empty space and of the tires of the car behind it and of the tree a little bit as well, and of the twack in between. I'm going to do a few more interpretations here. To me, it kind of looks like there's a face here. You can kind of make out the two eyes. You can also make out the eyes of the bottom face that I did earlier. And if I do a circle here, you can kind of make out some bigger eyes. You can even see the eyelids. Do one here. This one may be harder to see, but it kind of looks like he's looking up with his to the side a little bit at a diagonal angle. And they're playing jitterbug now and freeze frame. So I think this is pretty easy to see how it could be interpreted as a face. Like this, I think it's very easy to think of the two lights as eyes, and the space between the two previous eyes is a tongue. And they're playing jitterbug again and freeze frame. So I'm going to do another thing here. Below the right light, you'll see a pair of eyes and a mouth and what appears to be a tongue. Again, even if you don't interpret it this way, I saw this with my eyes unaided. It's also important to note that I'm still in the middle of being gang stalked, and so they could be projecting onto my screen, into my eyes, and the space in between. So sometimes I may be looking at something and it's really not there in the video. It's really on the screen or in the air or in the space in between or in my eyes. I think these could understandably be considered, how you can see interpret his faces. You can see it there on the right. Kind of looks like Yoshi or a dinosaur. And they're mentioning my stuffed brontosaurus that I had as a kid. I'm going to circle two eyes right here. I think how you can see, especially the left one, it even has like a glimmer to it.